Hello, everybody. It's Graham. It's my birthday today, so I'm feeling a bit like this. There you go. That's about all I'm going to say about my birthday. 858 today. Yes, looking good on it, I feel. And today I'm going to celebrate it with a bit of Dirty Blonde. That's not a beer. Get that out of your head. Yeah, I'll be talking to Dirty Blonde in a minute. But first, we're going to watch this little video.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Hello. I told you that, we'd all fit by the time that we came back. There we go.
Lovely.
How are you both?
Good.
Yeah, we're
Good.
good. We had a gig yesterday. We're playing in EBGBs in Liverpool. So we're
Lovely.
just having a little chill day today.
You see, I haven't been to Liverpool for years, although I've got lots of clients in Liverpool. So which part of Liverpool's that in?
Oh, Hayley, you can answer that one. I've got no clue.
It was pretty much right in the middle, like that main street where there's a few venues and stuff on there. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but
All I need to know is
right in the middle.
that it's by Crazy Pedro's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing you need to know about a gig, full stop, is the rider any good? Was the rider any good?
No. It was the worst one we've ever had.
Is it?
By that meaning non-existent.
Yeah.
Guys, get yourself sorted out. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about folks. If you're putting a band on, right? No rider.
The only good thing, it was actually our bassist's birthday yesterday. So Hayley went to Costco and got some muffins. We had, weirdly enough, chocolate and coffee and walnut. And what do you usually have for your birthday? Coffee cake.
Yeah. We were talking about my birthday beforehand, and I normally have coffee and walnut cake. People just assume that I like it and have made it for me forever and a day. This year, I chose to go chocolate because I just wanted to give out. I just wanted to, it's not even my favourite full-on chocolate, but I just felt, but they did a really lovely job, I have to say. 3 tiers. So it was like, chocolate and chocolate with chocolate in between. And then on the top of it, it had minstrels, counters, and little chocolate balls in gold. How about that?
That sounds like
amazing.
heaven. Yeah.
It does.
It was literally that big. So
It
a
puts
slice.
that muffins to shame.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we need to up our
Absolutely.
game now for the next band
Yeah.
birthday.
So if people are watching, if you have Dirty Blonde to play at your place, massive great chocolate cake. That's got to be on the rider. What else would be on the rider as well for you normally?
We always ask for marshmallows, don't we?
Yeah.
Marshmallows. I've got one in me hot chocolate right now.
Oh, lovely.
Mm.
Yeah, all dairy's bad for your voice and chocolate's bad for your voice as well. So I can only really have sweets before I go on. And then it's a bit late for chocolate usually when we come off stage.
Any particular sweets you find good for the voice?
Yeah, the marshmallows. I think it's a placebo effect. Yeah. Just all nice and squidgy, go down nicely.
Yeah.
I used to love Haribo from that point of view. Other brands of sweets are available, but not the fizzy, not the sour ones. Because
I love those ones.
I love sour ones, but they can take the edge off your voice a little bit if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Just got to be a little bit careful with that. Oh dear, days of playing live. Was it a good crowd?
Really good crowd. We had some dancing, so yeah, grateful.
Mhm.
Is that what makes a good crowd for you? Is that people get into it and that they dance and they get interactive, or are you okay with people when they just stand there and like look at the?
Yeah, I think the thing is we've been really lucky this festival season. Like we've opened some massive stages, and we opened the Big Top at Isle of Wight, and usually you're sort of in the afternoon. People are feeling a bit self-conscious; they've not got into it yet, and our job is to warm people up and get everyone sort of ready to dance. So I think as long as people are watching, a little head nod, you know, I don't want a mosh pit every gig. It's fine. That's the headliner's job. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, as long as people are watching and they're there, it's great for us.
Without naming any names, has it ever gone a bit wrong in terms of the fact that you've done such a good job of warming the crowd up, and then headliners come on and it's all been a bit? You can say just don't mention the names. Just but if that's happened, it's fine to, you know.
To be fair, I don't think anyone would ever just say it, would they? But we've had it where people have watched a gig and they were like, "Oh, I prefer you to them."
Yeah,
But you never know what to say.
Yeah, we just always go thanks.
Yeah, and it's a lovely compliment because we've only got 4 songs out. So, you know, a lot of our set people don't know the music. So it's great when people love it.
Just so people know, then if you've only got 4 songs out, what's the majority of your set made up of? Then
EP2, which is coming out in the next few months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you throw some covers in there as well when you're playing live? Do you venture into cover territory at all?
Only when things go wrong.
I was gonna say, we've only done one cover, haven't we?
Yeah, go on, you say.
We did a gig on Halloween, so we did a cover of Ghostbusters.
Oh, listen, that is just right, isn't it?
Yeah,
So wrong, right?
So fun, yeah.
Yeah, I, you know, that's the way to go. I feel if you're going to do a cover, don't do anything cool and, you know, sleek and everything like that.
Yeah, it was definitely not cool.
Do a cover that's like everybody knows the song, and you know, it's got that nostalgic feel to it as well for the older generation. The younger generation know it because they've seen the film and whatever, and you know, and then they look at their parents and think you're an idiot. But you know, it's great. It's got that whole, you know, and it brings generations together as well when you do songs like that.
100%, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Who would you love to do support slot for?
Loads of people.
Yeah, we've got a really ridiculous list.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone wants the Oasis one. I think that's probably top of everyone's list at the minute.
Oh, I've seen you doing the whole T-shirt thing on Instagram and whatever, and you know, acting like that. Do you know what? I actually once turned down. This will get you. I actually once turned down years ago the chance to go and see Oasis for 10 quid. 10 quid. Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah. I was busy doing something else that night, and but my mate went, and he came back and he went, "You would have loved that tonight." He said that was special. That was. I was like, really? Yeah. He was hard. You know, sometimes you do that with bands. It's just that proves something as well, doesn't it? For any of those people that are watching at the moment, you know, when people go, well, yeah, but I only want to go and see a band that I really know. All bands that you really know all started off as bands that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Go and see them now. Whilst
exactly.
You know,
well, it's cheaper, smaller venues.
Yep.
Yeah.
At some point, Dirty Blonde will be the next Oasis, and you will have missed the opportunity to go and see them live.
Exactly.
It's true.
It is absolutely true. What have you learnt from a band like Oasis? Have you got the swagger? You got the attitude?
We're working on it.
Yeah, I feel like with our genre of music, you have to have attitude. It doesn't really work any other way.
Yeah.
It's important. It's absolutely important. Tell me though, in terms of the type of music that you make, what would surprise us in terms of influences, in terms of maybe things that you actually like in your record collection, like dirty little secrets of Dirty Blonde? What would surprise us, and you know, some people out there that follow you, and they go, I never knew you like that.
Usually when we've got long journeys, we go through so much music in the car, and like if anyone like could see what we listen to, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like I think the last drive back from London a couple of weeks ago, we spent the whole time listening to the High School Musical soundtrack.
Oh, really?
High School Musical, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I was a massive JLS fan back in the day, which is obviously how I learned to write songs in Drop D.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I think you've got to have the contrast because if you sort of stay in one genre box, it really limits your songwriting because then you can put new things into it. You know, rock and indie have been going for decades, but you've got to find a way to make it 2024. So I think it's important to have your, guilty little secrets.
I bet. I bet you two in the car, right? You do that whole High School Music one. There's a world between us. Now, who plays which part?
We take it in turns most of the
You do.
time. Yeah, I'll be like, right, I'll be Troy on the way, and you can be Troy on the way back.
It's
It's
great, isn't it?
great. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
good.
soaring,
Flying.
flying. Yeah.
You
Who
got
doesn't?
it.
Who doesn't love that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you forget that it's a banger.
Yeah.
That could go in the covers list just in case. That I'll tell you what, that would actually get a whole crowd going, especially a rockier version of that as well.
Yeah, maybe we
Um,
should do that.
Yeah.
yeah, one of my favourite bands who are they're actually quite prog rock, okay, and they're actually really sophisticated bunch, but at some of their kind of fan type shows, they came on and singer wearing a wig and did Toxic by Britney Spears. And I tell you
Nice.
that's another one. Everyone just goes absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
There's some pop songs out there which are, they might be pop songs. They might be a bit of, a cheap thrill, but ultimately everybody knows the words and everybody loves them. Let's just face up to it, Do you
Yeah.
find people a bit snobby sometimes with music?
I think so. Sometimes people can be a little bit sort of uptight about things. But a lot of the time you can find common ground with everyone. Like music, everyone says music's a universal language. So yeah, to be fair, it's very few and far between, I think. A lot of people are very open.
Yeah. I tend to find that I know, having done so many interviews with musicians over the years, I know when someone's lying about something. One of the things that really gets me is when you ask people their first album. So I'm going to ask you that now. So first album, either of you bought or streamed?
Mine was American Idiot by Green Day.
See, I believe that.
Yeah. Loved it.
Mine was whatever the first McFly one was with 5 colours in her hair.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. See, now those are real, right? It's when people pick something that's really quite avant-garde and out there and you think, no, it wasn't. I'll tell you both now. I make no shame of it or bones of it or whatever. Mine, because I was really young when I started, mine was Father Abraham in Smurfland. Yeah. You see, look at that. Yeah. Which includes the fantastic song Beer, Beer, Smurfing Beer, You Don't Get Drunk and It Isn't Dear. What a great lyric.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, bring it back.
That is true. And I also had the single of the original Peach Dragon as well. Oh,
Peach Dragon.
Peach Dragon from Walt Disney. They remade it a few years back. I think 2014 they remade it and it was all, real action and all of that sort of thing. But the original, which was a cartoon, a cute little dragon, whatever, had some really awful songs in it. But yeah, the theme tune from that was my first single purchase as well. But I thought I was about 8 when I first started buying music. See, started early. So I think that's real. Who writes the songs?
We both do.
Mm.
Yeah.
How's it start? Or is it different every time?
Yeah, it's usually the same. It's usually like one of us will come with an idea and then we'll just dive into it until it's finished.
Is there a lot of jamming? Is there do you work stuff up with jamming, or do you have a pretty much you come with the majority of the song sort of skeletal?
I think sometimes we come with pretty much a full song. Sometimes we'll come with like 3 chords or like a riff idea. But I think sometimes we'll jam them out in the room. But a lot of the time, because Ailish, she's really good at doing demos and stuff because she did sound engineering at uni. So if we've got like a riff or something, we'll just record it straight in and kind of work from the project there. So half the time we'll finish a song before we even play it in the room.
Yeah, a lot of the time it'll be when we're really stuck on something, or we've got a song that'll be coming out. I mean, I don't know when, but it's called Rush. And then we wanted this really cool sort of end bit to sound like a jam, didn't we? Where it was just like this sort of massive vibe. And when you write something in a studio, you can't recreate that. So that was something where we're like, we'll have to take it to the room and see how it plays out. And it's one that we always do live. It's kind of a non-negotiable in our set. So that bit always goes down really well. It's super fun.
Do you have a space that you tend to practice in and tend to sort of work up songs or practice for playing live in?
So we've got a room at Brunswick in Salford. We love it. So we've got that, and then we're ambassadors at the minute for Pirate Studios, and that's been a massive help for us. So they've got like full-on production rehearsal spaces where there's mirrors. So I'm there, going for all my choreo for our Britney covers, obviously. And then they've got studios as well. So sometimes, a lot of the time, we'll just go to each other's houses and do it. But whilst we've had this ambassadorship, is that the word? Whilst we've had that opportunity where we can go and use these spaces, it's been really nice to go somewhere outside. You can be a bit more creative when it's kind of a different space.
Yeah, do you find it seems to me at the moment there's a lot of different organisations that are really trying to help young music or young musicians and as I say, young music as well, really try and get a foot off the ground at the moment. I watched the Mercury Prize Awards. Did you watch that the other day?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? No. Okay. And it was won by English teacher, but the majority of their speech was about the scene in Leeds and the fact that
I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, right, and that all of these different organisations in Leeds really have helped them try and get a leg up and have helped get them out there. I just think
the thing is, they've been there for ages. Like, I know they gave a shout out to Nathan Brudenell, and like again, he's been going for years, championing up and coming bands. And it's the same. Like, there's two guys that go to our gigs called Edwin and Paul, and they're absolute legends. They'll always come and check out new music. They'll always go to festivals like the Great Escape and go to the Alt Escape and look at who's coming through, and they'll take a chance on people. So I think people are always there, but they get a lot less credit. But I think, a massive thing about Oasis coming back is that they're sort of making guitar music more relevant again, because it's always been there, new guitar bands and things like that. But I'm really hoping that's going to put a spotlight on things and people can recognize it. I'm trying to think of the other example. Well, Sex Pistols, we supported them a couple of weeks ago in Glasgow. And the reason why that entire tour came about was because there was a venue in London, Bush Hall, that was going under. And then they did a few nights there to try and, raise enough money where they could then save it. And they ended up saving the venue. So again, it's things like that can really put a spotlight on grassroots music and grassroots venues.
I love that. It's so important as well. Ultimately what we need, as it's being championed for at the moment as well, is that some of the money from all of these ridiculously overpriced sales tickets from the big venues does need to get filtered down and support the smaller venues out there. What do you think about the whole sort of ticket debacle that's going on at the moment with all of the big bands? Oasis have gone through it. Coldplay have now just had it in the last couple of days because of their tickets going on sale. But what do you think about this whole ticket situation at the top, where big bands put their tickets on and it's almost like a dogfight? It's like it used to be when your gran used to go to the sales at New Year's and all these old people would be fighting each other. You just got people fighting over tickets now to go and see people. What do you think about it all?
Go on, Ailish, I'll leave this on to you.
Okay, then. We're consumers of this music. We managed to get tickets to go to Oasis in Manchester. So it's a tricky one because obviously, like, a lot of people ended up really frustrated with it, with all the queues, and then putting the money up with surge pricing. And it's tricky because there's a lot of money that goes into it. Like, even with us, like, I know our tickets are a tenner, but if we could make it under a £5, we would. So even with us, we have to put them up more than we want to, because it's just, you have to hit a certain amount, so it just for the venue to break even. And you can kind of look at it from a consumer point of view. and on the outside and be like, they're being dead greedy. But I think, let's give them a chance. Let's see what they do with this profit. Are they going to just put it in their back pockets? Probably, but you never know. They might then be really progressive with the supports that they pick for the shows, and they might have someone big like Blossoms and Kasabian as the main support, but then they might pick an opener that's really realistic. So I think before we kind of go in on them, let's see what they do with the money and see what they do with the opportunity they could give people.
Sensible, politically correct answer, which hopefully will get Dirty Blonde on the list.
Please.
Why not? Why not? Have you manifested that? Have you? Are you big into manifestation? Because obviously a lot of young artists are. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, we go for like joint Reiki. Me and Hayley do.
Yeah. we must. Every time something happens, all we do is say, yeah, just manifesting it.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can even go, that whole thing of a door closing and another one opening as well. Like sometimes we'll get a gig cancelled and then it'll be like, oh, you're still free that day. And then something amazing will come up. And it was like, oh, well, there's a reason why that didn't happen.
Yeah, I love that. Now, listen, talk to us about the new EP. When's that going to happen? When's that out?
So November, the first one starts coming out.
Yeah, first single's going to be early November, yeah.
Yeah, cool. What we're kind of looking to do with it is just we've got 5 songs, but we're not going to put them all out at once because otherwise we're still skint from the recording. So we literally need to financially recover before we have to record some more music. Yeah, do you want to have a chat about like what they sound like, or?
Yeah, no, I'd love to have a chat. And what I want to know is you've got 5 songs, right? So you've got 5 songs. So you're going to do a T-shirt with each of the songs. Then that's what you need to do. You see. A T-shirt with each of the songs. People can stream it for free, but they can buy a T-shirt to support each song. How about that?
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Hayley's good at the graphic design side, so I feel like that would be something that.
Yeah, we said we wanted to do something like that with the first EP, didn't we? And we never got around to doing it. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, it's like that financial limitation, isn't it? And then you kind of like, who actually cares? Will people buy a T-shirt? We're sort of into the idea of doing limited drops on things. So we did 1 T-shirt for Come Over, and we just did a super limited amount. And we managed to sell that out. So yeah, we'll probably do a limited T-shirt for the first one and see how that goes, and see if we can build on it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think actually, if anyone's watching and they've got a bit of money in their pocket and whatever, and you're into Dirty Blonde anyway, you love their music, perhaps you could front them up money for a whole load of T-shirts. There you go, and then they can do that creative, wonderful idea of actually having a T-shirt with each for each song on the EP. Just imagine how wonderful that would be. It'd be a great thing to do. I haven't mentioned it for a while, but my great idea, which a few bands did take on, was that you have on the T-shirt, you have the name of the song, etc., and a nice graphic or whatever, and then on the back you have I listened to Dirty Blonde on and Spotify or whatever, you see, and you can choose that. And but I paid them 15 quid for the T-shirt, and that way people understand how this all works. You see, that it's absolutely fine to listen to music for free out there, as long as you pay for it.
Yeah, it's a massive help with T-shirts. Sometimes, again, it's not anyone's fault, but people can't give us a fee that will cover our petrol and stuff. So we do rely on that when we go out on the road to get people to buy a T-shirt so we can get home.
Bands have to get, and artists have to get really creative these days. I feel really creative. How do you find outside of the music making, how do you find all this stuff, doing interviews, going on social media, making the little films, putting your Instagram reels up? Do you ever get exhausted by all this, or do you quite enjoy it?
Yeah, both. Yeah, it is a lot. It's like you're doing like 10 different jobs. Like it's just a mad. You have to just like dip your hand in everything. But yeah, we enjoy it, but we definitely do get to the point where we like start burning out. But because there's the two of us, like usually one of us will drop off a bit and the other will pick it up, and then the other person will drop off, and then we've always got one of us to keep it going. We've never got to the point yet where we've both been like, can't do this.
Exactly. I think the most overwhelming part of it is just knowing if you're making the right decision, because you can talk yourself in and out of like, oh, is this the best thing to do? Is this the best strategy? Like, will do it hopping on this trend work, or will that not be authentic? You know, it's a really difficult thing to balance.
Yeah. Do you take time out just for yourselves at all? No.
No.
No, not really. We probably
Oh.
should.
Yeah, we probably should. I think it's that like cliche of, you know, what music is a way of life, isn't it? I think it would drive me up the walls, not, you know, just sitting on my hands and doing nothing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Some people are so good at it, aren't they? And they're so full on all of the time. You just think, wow, you know, the creative. But I guess to me, that's part and parcel of it. And I say to people, you know, I do social media all day long. That is my job. But actually, if you don't enjoy the creative element of social media, then it ain't a great place for you to be in, because it's gonna get you down if you don't enjoy that. And for me, you know, I think artists have to these days, they have to enjoy the creative side of social media just as much as they enjoy the music making. They have to see it as a completely different creative process, really. It's like, well, you know, I'm going to get up today and I'm not necessarily going to write a song today, but I am going to get creative doing this over there, which is great.
I mean, it's no secret that the industry changed a lot. Like you said, you know, you've almost had to take on a completely different job, and you do have to balance the creativity with the content and with the songwriting. I don't know if you feel the same, Haley, but I always feel like, oh, I need to be writing more songs, but then you feel like, oh, I can't, because I've got to do all of this as well, and it's equally as important.
Yeah, it is. It's hard getting the balance, because then on top of that, you constantly traveling to and from gigs as well, which is obviously tiring with all the driving and stuff. So, and then playing the gig and then getting home, and then it's constant.
Yeah, but we always end up having a laugh. Like, I think that's like, you've got to be in a band with people that you get on with. That's the most important thing, because, you know, even if something's an absolute like a shit show disaster, you can still have a laugh and find something funny from it.
Yeah.
What's been the weirdest thing that a song's come out of? Incident, activity, whatever, where you've literally been doing something or other, you know, I don't know what it is, and then suddenly one of you gone, do you know what? That's a song. What's been the weirdest thing?
Oh, we've had loads. I think your Don't Cry and Spell's quite funny.
Oh, it was just a meme. I just saw a meme. I thought that would be good. There's a few though, isn't there? They're all a bit random. Like even your one with Checkmate, that riff was just because she felt really angry.
Yeah. Well, well, I was like talking to this guy, and then he just like was like not talking to me for a day, and I was like, oh, so just wrote this heavy riff.
Just a riff, and then we took it to the room, and then like a couple of days later, there was a full song, and that's on the YouTube as well.
What you must do though is you must document all these things.
Yeah. Right? Oh yeah, we've got all these voice notes and stuff. Like there was, going back to the songwriting process, there's a song that's going to be coming out called Adore Me, and then so me and Haley went through a breakup pretty much at the same time. With like different people, we didn't break up with the same person. We don't share everything.
Well, you didn't break up from each other either. That is just to explain, right? Yeah.
No, we've never even had a break. It's like just full on our relationship. So then it was almost like one of us would have this lyrical idea, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, like let's add to this." But then we were so excited we couldn't wait till we were together, so we were literally doing it on WhatsApp voice notes. So we have this whole. We thought, you know, we're gonna have a field day if we ever get on tape notes with this song.
Oh, do you know what? That's brilliant, and that's the stuff that one day you'll be able to write a book using all of those anecdotal little bits and pieces. That's why you have to keep them. Don't just keep them in the cloud. Write them down somewhere, or print them out and put them in an actual folder or whatever.
Yeah, some funny bits from it as well. Like when we were doing that one, it's like how it like originally started with the voice notes to like how it ended is hilarious.
Yeah, well, sometimes it'll be like everyone's asleep in our house, and it'll be like 11 o'clock at night. Like, what about this? And then like just trying to sing dead quietly.
Do either of you keep a diary?
I don't.
No, I wish I could. You know, when people have like gratitude journals and stuff, I'm always like, I'm dead into it, but I always just forget that I can do that.
I find that it's really important for me as a creative. I find it's really important to have something that I do every single day, which just kickstarts it's happening, because otherwise, you could quite easily get into a fallow period where you just don't do anything. So I have a particular kind of post that I write every single morning. I've written one for 5 years without fail. And I just do it. And as you were saying, like a meme, it can be absolutely anything. I can come down in the kitchen and there can be like a new kind of breakfast cereal, and that it would be like, well, I'm going to write about that today or whatever. It doesn't really matter what it is. Just needs to be something that gets the wheels turning. Are you both a bit like that as well? You have like a little something that you just do on a regular basis, just to make sure, even if it's like, I'm going to pick up the guitar at least one point in the day and whatever, and just play like 5 chords just to see, just keep my fingers going.
Yeah, I do that every now and then. I'll just sit and pick it up and then see if anything comes to me. That's usually where most of them start from, isn't it, anyway?
Well, you can get inspiration from anywhere. Like, we've just written a song. I mean, it won't be on the EP, but that started from me doom scrolling, and then there was just a slogan on Hayley Williams's t-shirt, and then it's become the hook in a chorus. So, you can literally draw it from anywhere. It's just about opening your mind. There's an amazing book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and I 100% recommend any creative reading that, because that's really good. It's really difficult to get creativity on demand. Like, right, go and write a song now. Just pull something out of anywhere. And that book really helps you channel that.
I love that. I love it when people give books and stuff on the show. It doesn't always happen. I normally give people books. I quite often talk about Tracy Thorn's books. If you've never read them, they're definitely worth reading, especially if you're a singer. It's good to read about what it means to be a singer and how other people in the audience think about that, because it's a really weird phenomenon that people give so much emphasis to singers. But she explains it really well. Her book's called Naked at the Albert Hall. They are
Naked at the Albert Hall. Right, I'm going to write that down.
There's one for you to go. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like I should have, prior to you coming on today, sent you both kazoos. Because they are fantastic. I said that I was going to explain why I've got kazoos with me. So I keep a number of little games in my drawers here in the studio, just in case I suddenly need to draw on inspiration. This is a game that someone sent me a little while back, and what it is you pick a card, and then you have to play whatever's on the card on the kazoo, and then other people guess. Yes. And trust me, if you're in a van touring around the UK, that is a game worth having.
We're going to do that.
Get on Amazon.
Yeah.
Get a couple of kazoos. Back in the day, before we could actually afford proper kazoos, it used to be, get this, schools used to do toilet paper. It's going to sound gross, but schools used to do toilet paper that actually felt like greaseproof paper. It was that bad. No one would ever wipe their arse on it. But what they would do is they would put it over a comb and play through the comb, and it had exactly the same effect as that. Everybody that's my age, and I'm not telling you what that is today, even though it's my birthday, will remember that. Everybody will have done that. Thank God they invented kazoos. That's all I'm going to say.
And better toilet paper as well.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you do not know what your parents, etc., had to go through. But
I'd still be carrying that trauma with me.
It is an absolute trauma. Thank you so much for coming on. We look forward in 2025 to you doing even more great things. We definitely look forward to Dirty Blonde being on the support roster for Oasis. That's going to happen. Everybody's going to now go and manifest that for you, etc.
Light a candle, do what you need to do.
Absolutely. Create a seance, whatever it is. Both of you, thank you so much. When the EP comes out in November, please do go and support that as well. You know that will be an amazing thing. You know you're going to be up against The Cure with their album launch. Wow, 16 years. Can you imagine 16 years between albums? That's mad, isn't it?
Expectations are going to be pretty high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, who knows? 16 years from now, you might be going, right, well, we're going to release the next album.
Yeah, EP3.
Oh, we haven't released for a year, and that's felt like 16 years. I can't go that long.
Yeah.
No.
Crazy. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that. This is the wonderful Dirty Blonde. You now need to go and check out their music if you haven't already. Hopefully, at some point, we'll get something from them for the board as well to remind us of their wonderful faces, so that that you can check them out every time that I speak. If you've enjoyed this today, this has been my music. If you haven't enjoyed it today, 35 minutes and 37 seconds of your life have now been wasted, and I'm very sorry about that, but you can get it back. Don't worry. All you need is one of these radiator keys, and you take that, go to your local council office, turn it twice, and say the magic word, which is abracadabra, to Lady Penelope, who's sitting behind the counter there, and she will give you a form. Fill that form in Arabic, and you will get your 35 minutes back. Can't say fairer than that. Until next time, enjoy and take care of yourselves. Bye for now.